What's up everybody? I just thought I'd show you my Hyperspin project that I've been working on over the last few days. Put about 20-25 hours in so far. Getting the ROMs are quite easy, but wanted to show you what I've done because I've seen a lot of videos on the internet but actually never seen the emulators firing up. It all looks very nice with the artwork, which I'll show you in a minute. But first I wanted to show you my Hyperlaunch HQ. I've just run a full audit. As you can see down here, I've got 15,092 out of 15,269 games playable, or at least I hope they're playable. Most of the systems are full, no intro, full set ROMs. Some of them are custom, like Sony PlayStation. I've made my own XML. Sony PlayStation 2, DS as well. The only one that I haven't configured is this one here. I haven't done that yet because it's just one of the ones that I'm not really that bothered about. It's the kind of Laserdisc games, etc. At the moment I've got 36 systems on here. If you take that one away, it's 35. And I'm going to fire it up now just so I can show you what it looks like. Some of these are custom made, some of these are downloaded through Hyperspin website through the FTP.
Hyperspin.
So at the moment I've got the systems all loaded in, custom wheel art on here just to make it look uniformed. Some of the systems are dead straightforward to set up, some of them not so. I'm going to come back to this Sony PlayStation 1 in a minute because it is there. It just for some reason doesn't load up all the time. One of the hardest systems that I got to run, and took most of my time, a good 7 or 8 hours to work out, was the Amiga, which I absolutely love, which I'll show you once. Once the Hyperspin stops, I've got it set on low. There we go, so we'll load the Amiga up. I've got 150 odd games. It's not the full set, but it's the ones that I kind of like. I believe I've got most of the artwork. Again, these emulators all run, but they're not 100% perfect. There's little tweaks that I've got to do, but I wanted to show you. So we've got now loading screen, the fade screen. It boots up through WH load, deload. I've paid for it, so it's all working nicely, and it should load up. So we'll start it. Not the best version of Alien 3. I always think the SNES version is with the 4 buttons. Works better. And as you can see, there's a few sound glitches, but I haven't fully configured the sound or anything. I just wanted to get it running and show you that it's running. Shoot this alien. Okay, but you get the idea. Okay, one thing I can do as well is if you go into what's called the Hyperpause menu, this is a great menu, and I've spent a bit of time messing around with this. So you've got artwork, and I'll show you other systems with a bit more on it. But what I did want to show you was some of these videos that I picked up through Emu Movies, little commercials. I believe I've even got a documentary here about the death of the Amiga. And you can watch them in full screen if you wish. Again, not the best quality because it is the 80s, early 90s. Just come out of that. So you get the idea. It's a great little little thing with the bezel as well. I've got here. Some systems don't run with the bezel. There's a fade out as well. Okay, so there's the Amiga, one of the hardest systems to set up, but again, and if you notice the PlayStation is back there. I don't know why that happens. It does happen periodically. It doesn't load that way a lot. I'll have to look into that. But if you look here, I've actually got one of the newest emulators, reasonably good. I've got PlayStation 2. Now the thing is with the PlayStation 2, it's not officially supported by Hyperspin. So what I've had to do is get all this art and make it myself. These wheels are actually borrowed off their FTP. I've rejigged a few. Got quite a few games on here. Time splitters, great one. Must be booted up. These are all uncompressed images. I had real problems trying to load with compressed images on certain systems. I'm not sure if my joypad's fully configured actually last time I tried it. I had no left and no up. But as you can see, it's loading. I just want to show you the gameplay. Maybe shouldn't have done the story, should have gone into arcade, but just to give you the impression. Nice little bezel effect around it. Again, you can make it full screen if you wish. None of the emulators have enhanced settings as yet. That will come later. So, and we're loading through. And it runs at pretty much what it's supposed to run at this. Again, my pad's slightly not configured. For some reason I haven't got a left. Or a forward, I believe. But just to give you an idea.
Hey!
And it's inverted. Can't remember the buttons with inverted. Very GoldenEye-esque, isn't it? So it's not fully configured the pad, but as you can see, it is running. Just want to show you running, and again, if you go into Hyperpause, not sure what's in this Hyperpause menu, but you get the artwork, etc. Statistics about the system. I actually want to change the Hyperpause menu slightly to have the menu slightly higher, not halfway down the screen. So again, it all works. Some dead zone problems I think with that pad, and if I come out, get the fade out screen and back in. So we've got 20-30 games on here. Some of the artwork is slightly different. I've had to mix and match it, but you get the idea. Most of them have videos, some don't. And one that I've just configured yesterday is the PSP. Again, missing some videos, some artwork, just to give you an idea of how it runs. And again, all these fade in, fade out screens you can actually customise to do. Nice little bezel effect, fits perfectly, it's actually perfect. So, I had a quick blast on this earlier.
Might I be too late? I can take you on if you wish.
And this one's at reasonable speed. Some games don't run that well.
Shine! Shine!
Okay. And again, you can run it at a larger screen. You can actually enhance the graphics. Dissidia is one of my favourite games. But and again, you've got a quick shortcut menu. I can go back and go to game settings and change it all up game by game. Audio, which most emulators have found, it seems to be the audio. And you can do that inside there, inside the emulator, which is great. So if we exit to the menu, again, you can load up games from here, or you can just quit out and you can load them from here. Wrong art there, but there you go. So to show you, I suppose, what everybody wants, I'll show you the DS in a minute, but go to main, which is the big one. Go to Street Fighter, maybe. Now I've turned off all the clones, you can do that. So there's only originals, otherwise there's loads. Let's do champions, that championship. Load it up. Again, I've managed to make a customised splash screen there when it loads up. Again, I haven't fully configured my pads. This is a work in progress, I can't stress that enough, but I wanted to give you an idea of it working. You don't see the videos around, people charge you £400 for what is pretty much just the art, with no other. And again, this is taking me 20-25 hours. I've actually got my main. My controller's actually configured to the analog, which I don't like. So if I go into the Hyperpause menu now, I've added a bit more to the MAME. You've got your custom background for a start, and etc. We've got manuals, videos, so you can watch some MAME videos. Again, I would like that probably a little bit more to the left and further up. This is good. Moves list. Okay. The artwork, circuit board. Don't know why you'd have that, but it looks good. The old PCB boards. Okay. So that's the big one. And again, there's actually probably 2,500, 3,000 actual games that you can play on MAME if you took the clones out, the Mahjong, the poker, and all the other rubbish that comes with it. Some run really well, some not so well. Star Wars Arcade actually runs better on the Model 3 emulator. So one of my favourite games from all time. And again, you can configure these.
The force will be with you. Always. Red 5 standing by.
So always go to this for some reason. And I remember playing this in when I used to go on holiday in the arcades. Back the only time I managed to get to an arcade when I was a kid. Games like this. Turtles was a big one when I was a kid. Phoenix.
Red 5, I'm going in.
And if we go into Hyperpause again, just have a look at the artwork again. Circuit board, control panel, flyers. See, I remember the one, the actual cabinet where you sat down in. Manuals. So this time I've got the Star Wars manual. And lots of other stuff that you can mess around with. Again, nice little feature. This, I do like it. History, settings, yeah, and you can customize this to how you want. So if we escape out of that, one of the last systems I'll show you. So we don't want to keep this video. I just want to prove that they are working. It's a Nintendo DS. As you can see, I'm actually in the process of doing this. 30 something games on here. It's basically IGN's top 33 or something games. Still need some wheel art, etc. So I've got Advance Wars. Nice art there. It's a little bit big for me.
Loading complete.
And you'll see it boot up in a second. And it loads in. The only problem I've got at the moment, as I say, work in progress, is the bezel's slightly off. If you look at the bottom, it's slightly cutting off the top of the screen there, the A. It just says nukes out. get the idea that it works.
Move out.
And get rid of all the text, which annoys me about Advanced Wars. It's all the text. You get the idea that it's running, it's up, it's loading. Still lots to do, but it does work. And again, some art missing, some videos are missing. In fact, actually for the DS, for the games I've got, I think I've got the videos. I've had some problems with the box art, getting them to load in. The hardest system by far, other than the Amiga, and as you can see, Sony PlayStation. It doesn't like it, does it? We'll load it in. If I escape out of it again, let's have a look. It's there! It's magically returned. So, it's one of my favourite games. I've got about 70 games on here. I've got Die Hard. That's one of my favourite games when the PS came out, PS1. I believe it was close to a launch title, if not a launch title. Now my screen's not configured because I've just changed the graphics plugin because I had a lot of issues with it, so it's only going to be maybe quarter of the screen. I could make it full screen, turn the bezels off and show you, but you know, as I say, it's a work in progress. I've just got to double that in size. I think it's running at 480, which is native to the PS1. And here we go, loading up. Again, none of these have been configured in terms of graphical input. You can actually turn all the graphics up, run a lot of texture filters through it. Again, I've got all the wheel art, apart from Robin Hood the Siege. I don't know why I've got Robin Hood the Siege, but I can't find it anywhere. So if anybody knows where it is, please let me know. And I'll show you one last one. We'll run the console. One of my favourite from as a kid. The reason why, if you're wondering why it's lagging, is because I'm running screen catch software, which is taking some of my CPU. So I love the Sega CD. I got it when it came out. It cost a fortune for what it was. It was absolutely rubbish in terms of spec, but I absolutely loved it. And particularly love Night Trap, 32X edition and the original. Okay, so boot it up. It boots into Fusion. Not sure how the bezel effect will have, what it'll have on this. There we go. And as you can see, the bezel's slightly obscuring the screen, but that's okay. I'd probably run this full screen, to be fair. And I can't remember the buttons, but I used to love this game. I bought a guide for it so I could get all the zombie type creatures. It's B to capture, I hope it's B. Yeah. And there we go, we capture them. That's all running nicely. The better version is probably on the 3DO, to be fair. Okay. And again, there are people out there that will sell you one for $400, I believe it is. I'm not sure what that is in pounds, about £300, £310. But I'm basically running this off a 2 terabyte hard drive at the moment. It's about a terabyte and a half full. Okay. And I've still got plenty of room. I've got most of the systems that I want. And look at that, PlayStation's gone. Let's just see why this goes. If I go into it, come out of it, it loads up. Bizarre, isn't it? I might try moving it, see if that helps. So, 35 systems fully working. Most of them with full ROM sets. You know, really good. Looks good when it comes out. And as it comes back round, it's gone again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to keep posting updates as I go on because I do want to get up to maybe 50 systems fully configured. This is all my own work in terms of the fact that I've collated data of the artwork and tried to get it matching. and you know, I'd rather give my hard-earned cash to Hyperspin, people behind that, and to Emu Movies and places like that. But that's totally up to you. Alright, thanks for watching.